The president makes $300,000 a year. That's a known fact.
Not
And yet
Mr.
somehow,
not our ex-president. He didn't want it.
No, of course he didn't want it because he was trying to prove to the people that it's not about that for him. He cared about them, but he was uncontrollable. The media couldn't handle it. We couldn't push the right narratives. They hide and protect everybody while they lie to our faces, and they're programming us right now. They are programming us and causing the biggest mental health problem that we are ever going to see. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a passion for people, go become a therapist. Go to school for that right now. That'll be a guaranteed pandemic, everything recession-proof business you can get into that will more than likely last for the next 20 years because it is going to take us a while to get out of the problem that is being caused right now.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Talk Hard Podcast, baby. We are here. We are live.
Where are we?
We are in San Bernardino, California.
I'm leaving.
Gotta hate California. Gotta hate you, California.
I knew I felt weird when I got off the private plane.
I imagine California is beautiful if it wasn't for the people and their political views.
I knew the pilot was lying. I was like, man, we've been cruising around Iowa for 5 hours. Where are we going to land? And next thing you know, we're in California. Okay, I get it.
I still thought we was on a plane back from China. So from China.
No, I got back here last week from that one.
China.
You need to get a better jet.
Anyway, welcome to the show, guys. We have an amazing show because, yet, of course, again, I don't have a clue what we're talking about, so I'm going to ad-lib.
Of the day.
I am going in raw because I know nothing about what we're speaking about. But anyway, I want to say some things real quick before. Chris, we good?
Yep.
Okay. So I feel good today.
Good.
Yes, I feel good. I don't know. You know, I'm just in this phase.
I think you know.
No, I don't. Well,
So
I do.
if you did know,
okay, so
why?
I do, right?
Okay.
I do. There's a lot of shit going on in the world, right? I'm worried about the dollar collapsing. That's a very real thing.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean just collapsing. I mean being wiped off existence.
They're trying.
Right. It's the petrodollar, and the rest of the world doesn't want to use it because Mr. What's-his-name has inflated it to such a rate that nobody wants it because it's garbage. And I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about around the country, right? It's garbage.
I really want to take notes, but I don't on what I want to talk about because, again, I talk about manifesting all the time in energy forces, and you're on point like usual.
Oh, so I didn't know what we was talking about, so this is where you was kind of
This is kind of where we're going.
See? Great minds think alike.
This is, again, called manifestation and energy. When you surround yourself with like minds understand each other. Without me even, we haven't said 2 words about the podcast until just now. And what are we going to talk about? You'll see. And then we jump in and you're talking about on the same topic of what I'm trying to talk about.
That's
so
crazy.
Keep going. I love it. Keep going.
So build a bunker. Get you some of them pew-pews.
No, I like to control the things I can control and not worry about the rest. Like, I can't stop the dollar from collapsing. If it's going to, we're going to figure it out.
Well, here's my problem. Well, I don't have a problem. So let me get back to where I was.
Yep.
I am watching this, and I'm kind of enthralled in it. I'm watching the dollar collapse. I'm watching the rise of this Bud Light can. You know, just for instance, you know, I'm watching all this craziness go on in the world, and I'm not in fear. I know we're getting ready to go through some really hard times in America. And America does affect the rest of the world.
Yep.
But I watch Canada. I see what they're doing. They're okay. So anyway, I'm watching all this stuff and I'm really understanding. And I'm trying to protect myself. I'm doing some things. I'm getting myself personally out of the American dollar.
Get out of the dollar, get into silver if you want to be simple.
Okay.
Simple. That's a simple format. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't come after me if it don't work. But in a simple format, get out of the dollar and get into something that is worldwide recognized. And silver, gold, they are going to test times no matter what. That's how we started this. That's how we'll end it.
Always have, always will, right? So that's just, we're not financial advisors, but I'm just telling you, I know what I'm doing. And I know what else I'm doing to protect. I'm getting food. I'm getting these types of things, right? So anyway.
I've got a gun, so I'm not that worried about food.
Right. So
We're going to love tuna, beans, and rice.
Yeah, tuna, beans, and rice. That's we got plenty.
There's plenty of deer, squirrels, rabbits around Indiana. I'll figure it out.
Of course. So anyway, but as I'm thinking about this and just like I don't know, man. I hate it. I hate that this world is going to have to basically implode on it. This country is going to have to basically implode on itself before people realize. And, you know, even after it implodes, people will still blame the wrong people. they'll still point the finger at things that really have, and because you got the news telling them what the actual problem is, and they're lying. Let's just face it, they're out and out lying about this, they're lying about that.
If everybody wants to be mad about anything, blame yourself, because we
States.
as a country voted that person in.
Well, and
take responsibility.
Well, not only that, there's people that still support the movement that the administration, right? And it's just whatever, doesn't matter. All I'm saying is I am internally grateful for the life that I live today.
Me too.
I am grateful. I am happy. I am glad. I'm, even worst case scenario, world goes in the worst depression it's ever been. You know what? I've been wanting to reset anyway. It's going to suck because I have a lot of businesses that will maybe one day collapse with the rest of the world if that happens, But at the end of the day, like, my goal is to be out in the woods,
I'm okay because I'm mentally okay. Like, I'm okay because I'll always be okay because I know what I've been through, I know what I can handle, and I know what I'm willing to go through to get to wherever I need to go.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of moving. I'm not afraid of doing what I need to do to survive as far as it comes to like hunting animals and hunter-gathering. Like, I can survive.
I think I can
survived.
I think I can make a solar panel at this point.
Yeah. Like, I have not wasted my time Netflixing and chilling. I do research. I've been doing research for years. This is how I'm wired. Pattern recognition, right? Mm-hmm. People have been talking about this coming for a long time, and everybody just thinks they're blowing smoke. And I'm not going to blame it on just the current administration. I'm going to blame it on the conglomerate of everything. And that's part of what I have been like irritated about in the base form. Like, I'm still happy, but it's hard to watch sometimes.
Ain't it though?
When the media flat out goes out there and just lies.
Here's my thing. Countries are actually going to meetings where they're talking about, so the U.S. dollar has been used as petrodollars around the world. It's been the number one source of currency around the world. And you got all these countries meeting together right now as we speak.
China and Brazil.
Brazil, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. All these countries are meeting together and saying, you know what? We are not going to use the U.S. dollar anymore. And the only thing that damn news can talk about is some Bud Light cans with rainbows on. I don't give a shit about any of that. You want to drink purple beer? I don't care. This administration and this news channel. I always point up here. I feel like the news TV is up here.
It's over there.
It's right here somewhere.
It's back there.
So I always, and that TV channel and all the news broadcasting stations are using you to fit and for their narratives of what they want. Guys, just understand, if you're white, if you're black, if you're gay, trans, I don't care. If it's on that news and it's about this administration and what's going on in the country, they're using you. They're not with you. They don't care about you.
It's called neuroassociation.
Tell me about it.
This is a psychology like platform that they've been using for years, right? They get you to associate with something that you can recognize, and so what you believe, your belief dictates your thoughts dictate your feelings. So they make something so real you believe it. So they put it out there so much that you now have associated to it. They shove it in your face so much that you have to live in it for so long, it becomes your new belief. So when you believe it, it becomes true. Then you base your actions off of that, your feelings and your actions off of that, and now we're creating. You're like puppets to these people, and Guys, they find it entertaining. Go watch the show Succession. It's on HBO. It's all about the media conglomerate, and it shows how they can literally twist the narrative, and that is what they do. I'm telling you right now, if CNN, MSNBC, and all those other idiots went on right now and told you we've all been lying, the sky is green, I'd give it about a week before it would be all over social media. We've all been lied to. The sky is actually green.
People protesting.
And the toxins in the air make it look blue, but it's really green. Like, I guarantee it.
That's why they put chemtrails up there to make sure.
That's how good they are at this. And it is rather scary to watch them flat out lie. Listen, I don't care what Donald Trump did in 2016, but they know if you charge the guy with 37 felonies, it's going to take so long that if you're in an active court case during an election year, you cannot run for president. They are not idiots.
It's the only reason they're doing their shit.
They're going to drag this out as long as they can to try to eliminate him.
When every attorney and people who do these things say that there isn't a case, There isn't a case. Anyway, their whole goal, guys, just so you know, when it was talking about everything that they're doing on that boob tube and everything that you're seeing, besides on, and that's why we talked about TikTok last year, because I feel like it's the last free form of free press. It's something that's not controlled by the U.S. government and the far left and maybe even the right. I don't care. Right? It's not controlled. It's not censored. It's not shadow banned to the point like that.
No, I'm actually gonna open this one because I had to save this one.
Their goal. This is the one and only thing you need to understand. They want to divide and conquer. Period.
Yeah. So here is. Let's turn this up after I get it started. Okay. So basically, MSNBC went ahead.
Feel free to put a
Well, don't start with me.
loaded gun in your pants and take it wherever you want. Today, Ron DeSantis signed new legislation for Florida, and he did it in this session
This is
that
MSNBC.
was closed to the public. Only the NRA was invited and other pro-gun lobbyists. Nobody else knew about it. But the bill that he signed there with the NRA behind closed doors will now make it legal in Florida for anybody to carry a concealed loaded weapon.
Yes.
With no permit, no training, no background check, no license.
Okay, that is a flat out lie because it is a federal law to purchase a weapon and go through a background check. Now, here in Indiana, you can do the same thing. You can carry a gun without a permit. You can put it in your pants or anywhere else you want. They haven't talked. We did that last year. No one said a word about it, but Ron DeSantis is running for president. So we're going to make it.
He hasn't announced that yet, has he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
He's definitely running for president.
I didn't see that. All right.
Okay, so they know they need to attack him. So they're making it sound like you can just go buy a gun at Target, throw it in your pants. That is not true. That is not how this works. It is federally.
But you know how many millions?
Federally illegal to sell a weapon without a background check.
But you know how many millions of people saw that
And just thought, holy crap.
And then now, right? As soon as they saw and
Absolutely.
it's over for they don't like him, they don't respect him, they won't vote for him,
Right?
Because they heard that on MSNBC.
And it's flat out a lie.
Right.
If it was behind closed doors, how do you know who was there? For starters, what are you, Nostradamus?
Anyway, there's lots of states.
This is happening left and right now, and it is so difficult to watch them flat out lie. You've got these kids now on the show, like on the news this morning, I saw it, they're protesting, guns are the #1 killer of children.
Oh my God, that's
something
a lie.
like 380 people total died last year from gun violence.
Is that true? That number right? Somebody look that up.
I don't know the exact number. It's low.
How many people die from gun? I think it's really. I don't think it's that low in a year.
No, it's low.
From what gun?
Actual gun wounds. Like how many people died from gun violence or gun wounds? Like Google that and tell me the number. It's low. Of which children fall. I mean, I think it was like 12. The #1, more than 12 kids are going to overdose during this podcast and die. Guaranteed.
Every 11 minutes, guys. That's
they
the
are
number.
pumping this information out there. So these kids literally have got friends that are dying while they're protesting to an actual problem, which is drugs. And they're making them believe that guns are the #1 killer. I'm not saying it's not dangerous.
I want to say
I'm not saying it sucks.
I want to say this too. I don't think she can find it, but let's say that one. I don't know the exact number, so don't quote me on this.
Colin Norrell does a big thing on this.
So 1,000 people. If this is just a fake number, 1,000 people died of guns last year. You know how many people died from just falling down?
Right.
800. But whatever, just falling down. 800. But. Whatever. We got a #1 killer. It's their narrative, man. You know what I mean? And all this BS. There's a lot of states right now who are wanting to pull out of the Union of America and become sovereign state. And that basically what is it?
Sorry, it's higher than I thought. Okay, 45,000 people in 2020 was the last time they actually did a study.
Yeah.
45,000.
So I thought it was 40,000. And the study that I heard was 40,000 people died in a year from guns, right?
Yep.
But if that's the number, then 30,000 people fell down and died.
Yeah.
So we going to ban walking?
I mean,
no more walking.
More people died from
30,000 people died from walking.
More people died from car crashes.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Which is something that happens every day, and nobody's banning cars.
Well, let me tell you about this. 200,000 people died from addiction last year.
Guaranteed.
200,000.
Those are the ones that they were actually willing to register. I'm willing to bet there was more that somehow didn't make it in.
Yeah.
That they were like, oh, there was underlying conditions. Now, when it comes to drug addiction, they'll call out that it was like a heart attack or something else. But if it's COVID, then it doesn't matter the underlying conditions because now it's COVID.
Yeah, nobody died from anything else during those 2 years.
The flu disappeared. I've been totally excited about it, by the way.
Not one overdose, not one car crash.
And listen, I'm not bashing COVID. COVID was a real thing, still is a real thing. It is what it is. But again,
the numbers were skewed.
When you watch the people that go out there and study the data, they literally said, I will tell you when COVID will fall off, because every new strain of any virus that has been happening as patterns usually lasts a few years, and then it becomes died off. Basically, it'll mutate and it'll do its thing. And this has happened multiple times in the history of America. It lasts for a few years, and then it basically becomes common, like the cold, like the flu, like 1918 Spanish flu, like the one that happened in 2008, I believe it was, when it was H1N1.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was killing kids. Did we shut down schools then? No. But the media didn't need to push it because we had a Democrat in office. So all I'm saying is watch. I don't care about Democrat, Republican. I care about true leadership. I was all for Andrew Yang because I liked him. He's a Democrat, but he had a very stable mind, right? So I don't care whether you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican. Personally, I care about you caring about this country and the people that actually live in it, not about how much money you can make off the stock market insider trading that you know about. Because I find it interesting that these cops retire with maybe $500,000 in the bank if they did a ton of overtime. Yet we got politicians that are going into office and leaving worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
And they only draw a $100,000, $150,000 salary.
The president makes $300,000 a year. That's a known fact.
Not Mr.
And yet somehow,
not our ex-president. He didn't want it.
No, of course he didn't want it, because he was trying to prove to the people that it's not about that for him. He cared about them.
Yep.
But he was uncontrollable. The media couldn't handle it. We couldn't push the right narratives. They hide and protect everybody while they lie to our faces, and they're programming us right now. They are programming us and causing the biggest mental health problem that we are ever going to see. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a passion for people, go become a therapist. Go to school for that right now. That'll be a guaranteed pandemic, everything recession-proof business you can get into that will more than likely last for the next 20 years, because it is going to take us a while to get out of the problem that is being caused right now.
And I will hire you at Evolve Indy Center for
Guaranteed.
Recovery.
Guaranteed. No, I've got a friend that was looking for therapy and can't get it.
Oh, no,
is on a waiting list and is getting constant emails. We're still looking.
No.
That is insane to me.
There's a lot of therapists out here, especially in the Indianapolis area, Indiana area, and you have trouble getting in.
Like, he reached back out to me. He was like, can you coach me? And I said, no, we're too close as friends. It doesn't work in that dynamic. When you're too close as friends, it's very difficult to coach someone because they just can't see the clear path that we're trying to go down.
Yeah, no.
It gets very clouded. So I said, no, but I'll reach out to a coach for you. And in my opinion, and this isn't just for me, I think that insurance companies better start accepting coaches as valid forms of practice, because it does work. And people need it right now.
Insurance companies will do everything in their power not to pay somebody.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, by the way, my insurance went up for the first time in my life as my driving record got better this year because of parts. 10%.
Because of what?
Parts. Just in case I get in an accident and they have to buy parts. They're more expensive, so I got to pay more. Dead serious. Went up 10%.
If you had an accident to then make you pay more for your levy, whatever you call it.
No, this is just in case. So basically, I got a bill, and then I called them to pay it, and it was 10% more. And I went, hold on, something doesn't sound right. And they're like, oh, those are for parts. I said, I didn't order any parts. I called my insurance company. What parts did you order? And they're like, no, just in case.
Inflation.
Just in case you get in an accident.
It's tough times.
We need to charge you more for parts. I'm like, okay. Sounds good to me. I'll be calling another insurance company real quick, because clearly you guys are not big enough to handle what is going on out there.
We'll give you our insurance company.
And it took 3 weeks for them to call me back to set a meeting to explain it all, because we have 6 policies. And I'm like, are all of them going to go up? Like, I just want to know what's going on right now, because right now we are living in the most insane times I have ever seen. And my concern and what frustrates me when I watch this is that there are so many people out there that are so blinded by that's got to be true. So I'm just going to listen to it. And it is now to the point where this is no longer a conspiracy theory. They are actually programming us. And if you want to fall in, like, let it, if it doesn't sit right,
conspiracy,
right? They say you've got 3 brains, your head, your heart, and your gut. When they are not in sync, if something doesn't sit right, when you hear something, there's a reason for that.
I don't think that's happening though.
It has to be happening. They have to be looking at it going, something just doesn't seem right, but I have to believe it.
You got so many people out here that just stuck to that and just.
I struggle with it because I believe in humanity. Like, we can't be that lost.
Oh my God. We watching these videos of these people that just going crazy over. I don't know, man. It's just, you know what though? I just wish everybody. I'm getting on this page where like me and Jess are looking for properties. Like I'm gonna get in the damn woods and I'm just gonna buy 20 acres and I'm just gonna collect rainwater and I'm gonna get solar panels and
You don't need to collect rainwater. Just drill. You'll have a well forever.
I know, but you know,
drill once. You'll have a well forever. We have great well water here in reality. If you just drill, it's off the city. You filter it. It'll be perfectly fine. At our property, we run a well.
I'm gonna grow some crops.
Never pay for water again.
Get some llamas.
She wants a damn llama. I don't understand it.
They have to be two or they get depressed.
I mean, you can actually use your well to run water to actually power your electricity because water creates friction through power and it'll actually create batteries.
I have a creek.
Like you can completely live off grid if you want to. It's definitely not a problem. I'm trying to stay in humanity because I want to save as many people as possible through what's happening right now because if you thought that what happened during the Great Depression was crazy, by hearing about it and reading about it, when this system fails, suicide is going to be the least of our problems. People are going to start killing people.
Yeah.
Because the cops won't be able to keep up. It's going to get bad.
When somebody's hungry, they're going to eat.
They're going to eat.
They're going to eat, you know, and that's the reality of what I see. And this is not doomsday, ladies and gentlemen. This is just, and I've been talking in my head and to other people in my circle about this for years, but now I'm actually feel like I am, you know, I have to say something. Like, guys, it's like, pay attention. Like, if anything has anything to do with it, that when that dollar completely collapses and everybody gets outside of it, the banks will shut down. The banks will go to this. They're pushing the narrative for a digital currency, a government digital currency, and there's just so much things that are going to happen when that happens. And you know, who am I? I can't predict this stuff, but I just do know that I will prepare for it, and I will be internally grateful that I am preparing for it.
Ray Dalio was very, very good at this, and he understood because remember the dollar wasn't always the currency. Oh. I believe it was World War I.
Well, as Nixon took us off the gold standard, you know.
I think it was World War I when we actually started to take power as the dollar. Before it was like UK.
I don't even know.
Yeah, like I was listening to Ray Dalio's book a couple of days ago, and he was talking about this is pattern recognition, right? Like this was bound to happen. At some point in time, there's going to be a shift in power. There has to be. We can't be the superpower forever. You're always the best until someone else beats you.
Well, nobody would want to beat us if we wouldn't get so damn. We wouldn't try to police the globe.
Well, that's the thing.
We're trying to when we took off the gold standard. Nixon took us off the gold standard. It instantly made our dollar worth nothing, right? Besides what they say it's worth. That's there's nothing backing it. You know, and that's why that's why he's talking about silver and gold. And if you have a lot of dollars in the bank, maybe you should think about it. But when that happened, then we opened the world banks, and then you know if you did any kind of research on the people that we have trouble with, and the ones we go to war with, and the ones that we hate, like Cuba, like Venezuela, like these other countries throughout the history, it's because they said F you. We're not going to switch to this one world bank. We're not doing it. And then all of a sudden they're doing something that we don't like. So we got to invade them. Yeah. You know, and not to mention we're in like 163 countries. We have bases in 163 countries. And we tell people how to run their country. And it's like, according to the world, if you did a world survey, everybody hates America right now,
and have for a while.
They hate us, guys, and if that's not scary enough, you know, and they're tired of our shit. They're tired of as
much as everybody. Look, I'm going to say this clearly so that when they try to meme this at some point, because it's going to happen, Trump was an asshole.
Yeah,
I still don't care. No. What he worried about was getting a fair trade agreement across all platforms so that we could trade our currency, our goods, our services across platforms, meaning we were energy independent, so you couldn't bully us into energy. At the same time, if you needed oil, we had a surplus.
And
so we were then valuable to others to make it work for you. And then when we needed something, it's called fair trade, right?
Yeah.
It's in the words. We made a fair trade agreement.
Yeah.
That is not like a twisted legal term. That is what it literally is. Fair trade value. You provide value to us. We will continue to provide value to you. We will ramp up your market. We will buy your goods. America has the ability to do that. And when you need something, we will supply you with it.
I think it was one of the greatest moments when Trump went into one of these top executive meetings, right, with the execs of Ford. Mm-hmm. Ford, it was talking about moving its factories.
They did at one point.
Yeah, no, they did, and just like Chevy did too. Mm-hmm. All the Avalanches are built in Mexico.
Yeah.
Trump went in there and told them straight up, look, if you guys move these American factories and put people out of work, you move it to Mexico, I will charge you a 30% tariff when you try to bring those cars back and sell them.
Yep.
And they were like, well, they're not doing it. Right? That's the kind of shit we need.
Because it's what is necessary, and it's not about we don't like Mexico. It's about we love America.
We want
it's gotta
jobs
be fair.
Here. The only reason a company would move something to Mexico or China or wherever they want to move their company to is because they can get cheap labor.
Yeah, they're
buy
slave
cheap
labor.
Land,
Let's just call it what it really is.
And yeah, it is. In a lot of
it's known as slave labor.
Look at Nike's. A lot of cases it is, right? And that's why he was like, no, you're not doing that. And if you want to do that, I will tax the shit out of you. Mm-hmm. And then that's the way it's going to be. So, of course, they're not going to do that. Right. And that's the kind of leadership we need. Somebody actually give a shit about America. But instead, we got people in offices who say, when Ford says, you know what, I want to do this, they're like, well, slide me some money and then you can do whatever you want. And that's what it is. That's what it boils down to.
But let's just be honest about it. It's not just let's be good to America. That is good for the world.
Point.
Right?
Especially when you have
It's not just about keeping jobs in America, which is good for America. When there's more money being traded in America, we hold more value to other countries. The more we offset what we're doing, the more we don't have money here to provide value, because what they're getting over there is only providing value to the higher ups.
Yeah.
Before that, we're doing certain deals with certain countries where it was so cheap. Sure, all the greedy people here were loving it, but it wasn't fair because that country wasn't winning from that deal. Only the people that were in leadership there were winning. The rest of the country was living like crap.
Yeah, no, and
the rest of the world knows that, and they're like, "That's not cool."
I had a conversation the other day with my brother about I talk about Toyota. Mm-hmm. He's like, I can't, my heart's I got to buy American made. I said, listen, bro,
Toyotas are made here, by the way.
That was my argument. I'm like, dude, Toyota employs hundreds and thousands, probably tens of thousands of Americans with their factories right here in America.
I think it's in New Mexico or Texas or something. Yeah.
There's several of them.
Yeah.
There's tens of thousands of
Subarus here, Hondas here.
Dude, they're everywhere.
They're
right?
everywhere.
Those are As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about the executives who get the money. I don't care about if I bought quote unquote American made car with, okay, say a Ford. The only, if they're having their factories in Mexico, the only people getting the money from the people that from the car that you buy from them is the top executive. I don't give a shit about those. What I care about is companies here in America that are employing the blue collar people, the people that built this country. That's what I care about. And if Toyota makes a hell of a car and truck that lasts 300,000 miles before you even got to change the damn alternator in it.
Yep.
Right? If that's the case and is employing tens of thousands of Americans, by God, to me, that's an American vehicle. That's an American-made truck.
Yeah. And again, fair trade, right?
But,
they said, come over here, bring facilities over here. We'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, exactly.
We will give you tax breaks, and we will make it worth your while to not have to import, to not have to deal with lost cargo and all the other struggles and all of the lost, when you look at a P&L statement, you look at thousands of cargo ships have lost containers over the year. Every year.
Well, not to mention the price of it, right?
Right.
The cost
and it's very expensive.
shipping.
So they're like, bring it here, fair trade, right? We will give you a tax break for producing it here when your money goes to your country.
Right.
However, it's economically sound. We're going to make this work for everybody.
And we will employ
That is
Americans.
proper trade agreement. That is how you keep the world in proper form. Now, I'm not necessarily against the dollar collapse because then people will be forced to walk, and all you obese people that can't get food the same way might get a little bit healthier in the way that they should be when McDonald's shuts down. By the way, was it McDonald's that shut down their U.S. corporate headquarters?
I don't know.
I believe it is.
I don't know.
I think it's McDonald's that shut down their U.S. headquarters.
Where are they at now?
China? They're all over. They're probably based in China if we're really thinking about it, because let's think about what they're doing to us.
First and foremost, though, I want, Bangkok. First and foremost, I want to say this to people that struggle with obesity and whatnot. I firmly believe it's not your fault.
No.
Like, you are being duped just like everything else.
100%.
There is a McDonald's on every corner. You're getting poisoned by the food you buy at Walmart's. And you know what I mean? And everything that we buy here in America,
we shop at Aldi now,
is poisoned, is crazy processed foods, is, you know what I mean? It's just all this stuff. Like, it's not really your fault.
No,
it's not.
Make it so that it's cheaper for you to buy a meal at McDonald's than for you to make a nutritious meal at home.
Yeah.
3 times the price of
Yeah, it's $1 to get
especially if you got
breakfast.
kids. You know what I mean? Especially if you got kids. You're like, everybody's on the go. Mom and dad both working because we got to survive in this country.
You're so busy chasing the Joneses that you don't have time to cook.
Yep, man. And sadly enough, we're being poisoned by the major corporations and big pharma and Monsanto, which is the largest food company in the world, who produces all of the, they own a lot of the fields in America, in America, and they also one of the biggest chemical companies ever. But anyway, if and you're feeding your kids freaking Lucky Charms in the morning for cereal because it tastes good, but if you actually looked on the box, read the 150,000 ingredients on it.
This is what I was talking about.
Do that, because we're being poisoned, man.
I was talking about this mini podcast ago. Addiction is way bigger than we believe.
Yeah.
And we've been conditioned to be addicted to things. The sugar, the food. We're addicted to convenience.
High fructose corn syrup.
We're addicted to convenience. I want it now. I want it fast.
Yes.
That is addiction in its instant gratification is addiction at its core.
Yep.
And when you talk about food that's easy to get, it's cheap, and it technically does the trick until you feel like crap, and heart disease happens to be one of the actual biggest killers in America.
It is, yes.
Right?
And it's caused by your food.
And it's definitely caused by your food. This is not genetics. There's a thing called epigenetics, means above the gene, which means just because you were born a certain way doesn't mean you have to live that way. They've studied it in twins. 2 twins born the exact same genes. One dies of cancer because of the stress in his life and the fact that he can't get out of it. The other one lives till like 90 because the environment was different, right? He ate healthier and lived different. So your genes change. This is just a base for how you can live your life, but you can change your entire life.
Yeah.
Science has proven it.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear anybody's stupid excuses.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing your excuses. Get out, do something about it. Pay attention to what's happening, because when this all comes down, I believe in humanity, and that's why I say this. The good people will thrive. We will survive because we will take care of others. The greedy people will get wiped off the face of this place. I guarantee it, because they'll be so lost in their hyper focus of all about me that this person on the side over here is going to take you out.
Amen.
Period.
All right, we love you guys. we will.
We got plenty more coming. I'm fired up.
If you guys are not subscribed to our channel, we don't like you. Please, no, I'm just kidding. Please,
We love you. We all
this
make mistakes. I get it.
Yeah, not everybody's perfect like us. But anyway, we love you guys. Please
Absolutely.
subscribe. Send this out to your friends, guys, and prepare for the future. We love you. Bye.